One of the top questions that I get asked as a mortgage broker is, when should I start the home buying process? So if you've been asking yourself that same question because you're not sure exactly when you need to start, stay tuned as we jump in. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Channing, the owner of Bayou Mortgage. In today's video, like I said, we're going to talk about how to know when it's time to start that home buying process, when you're ready to start purchasing a home. And so it's a big question, and it really kind of depends on you. So what I hope to be able to do today is offer you some suggestions on what you need to look out for, and then also kind of give you some timelines about when you need to start making decisions and doing certain things. So let's just go ahead and jump in. But first and foremost, please like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It means the world to us. It helps us reach more people because that's what YouTube likes. So thank you so much for doing that. When it comes to whether or not you have to assess whether or not you're ready to purchase a home, it comes down to a lot about your personal situation, about where you find yourself, as well as where things like your credit score, your down payment, and all that stuff is. So think about when you're trying to make the decision if the timing is right for you. Are you in a lease? When does your lease expire? Where is your credit score? Do you know where your credit score is? Have you checked your credit? Have you looked at your credit? Have you looked at your credit report? Do you have a down payment saved up? Are you able to save up a down payment? Can you use something like a 401k or a retirement account for your down payment? All of these are questions that you need to be asking in order to determine if you can purchase a home or if it's the right time to purchase a home. And so sometimes the answer is absolutely. Sometimes the answer is not so much. So let's talk about kind of a home buying timeline. So what I would do ideally is if I'm buying a house for the first time, about 12 months before I think I'm ready, which maybe where you are right now, or you might be further into that. But about 12 months before I think I'm ready, I'm going to start looking at my credit profile, especially if I knew that I had bad credit or there were past issues on my credit. You're going to want to get to work on those as soon as possible so that you can boost your score as well as you can. Within 12 months, I'm going to pull my credit report. I'm going to go to something like myfico.com, which is, by the way, the only place where you can get your mortgage FICO scores other than a lender pulling it. Like Credit Karma, all that stuff is garbage when it comes to this. I'm going to get a real account. I'm going to really see what my credit report is. I'm going to dive in. I'm going to look at my report. I'm going to see the negative information on there. I'm going to make sure that if there is information on there that it's correct, and if it's not, I'm going to deal with that, either disputing it or handling it however you need to handle it. If there's things like medical collections and there's paid, I'm going to dispute them so that they come off. Those are just a few of the things that you can start doing around a year out to make sure that you're getting yourself ready, that you're in the best shape that you can be. And then obviously, even before then, several years maybe before, if you're saving for a down payment, then you need to be doing that as well, right? Or, making a plan for how you're going to come up with the down payment or the closing costs. And yes, of course, there are no down payment programs and all of that stuff, but anything you can save during this process is going to make it easier and more simple for you, also going to put you in a better position to negotiate down the road. And so I'm doing that. I'm looking at my credit. I'm getting a feel for within a year to 6 months. I'm doing all that, right? I'm looking at my credit. Next thing I'm doing is I'm making a budget. I'm going to make a budget for myself, right? We've talked about this in other videos where you kind of want your housing payment. You do. You really should have your housing payment no more than about 30% of your take-home pay. And so understanding what your budget is, what you could cut out, what you're good with, and maybe you're good and you don't need to cut anything out. But having a budget on your own is key, because you should never let your loan officer determine your budget for your house, because they may approve you for way more than you want to spend. But at the end of the day, you've got to budget for yourself so that you can have money left over for going to dinner or doing any of the things that people like to do, right? You don't just want to go home. You don't just want to work and go home and never be able to do anything. We call that being house poor. So during that process, I'm doing this. I'm narrowing down what neighborhoods or locations that I want to live in, what type of homes that I like. All of those types of things. And you're already probably doing it, right? You're scrolling Zillow, even though you might be a year out, whatever it is, you're already checking some of this stuff out. So I'm doing all that from about a year to 6 months. And then within that 6 month time frame, you should start to see the improvements. Now I'm going to fast forward here because really the lending stuff doesn't start kicking off until about 3 months before you're actually ready. And so if you feel like you're ready, then you know, unless you have a lease or something that's holding you back, you're ready. Once you're ready, you're ready. And so the lending process, I would start that no more than 3 months out, because the lender's going to need to pull your credit. They're going to need to check your credit scores. They're going to need to check your credit history. Obviously, they're going to need to work with you on, you know, getting documents and things like that. So that credit report is generally good for 90 to 120 days, which is why I don't want that lender pulling my credit until I'm for sure 3 months out or less. And really, when we say 3 months out, you could buy at any time, right? Because at that point, you're actively looking for homes. Once you get that pre-approval letter, you're actively looking for homes. So 3 months, 1 month, not a big difference because you're out there. And when that right home comes, you want to be ready to take advantage of it. So when it comes to understanding the timelines, it's really all about where your personal situation is. Do you have a down payment? Like we said before, understanding where your credit history and credit report is, so that if there are issues that need to be addressed, you can do that. Rarely, you know, there may be things that you may even need to hire like a credit repair agency or something on. For those of you that are in those types of situations, the earlier you can get started, the better, because it gives you time to work on it. And I just want to make like one little mention here for those of you that do watch this and you're like, I do have stuff and I have been working on it and it's hard. Don't give up. Of the 3 things that lenders look for, fixing your credit is the easiest one to fix, okay? If you don't make enough money, if you have income troubles, that's a lot harder to go out and get a new job. It's a lot harder to save up a down payment, but fixing your credit is within your control and it's something that you can do. So don't give up, don't lose heart, don't lose faith. Keep pushing if you're in that category and you need help fixing your credit. We've got some resources available as well. If you reach out to us, be happy to provide you with them. Ways to fix your credit, like, you know, on your own, where you don't have to hire a credit report. And then we also talk about when you need to consider hiring a credit reporting agency as well. So I hope that provides some clarity on when you should start the home buying process. If you have any questions, drop us a comment, shoot us an email, let us know. We want to hear from you. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Channing. Thanks so much for checking us out.